The bears just rejected the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame. What will it be and where are we going? In today's video, we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. We're going to be having a look at Veracity to see where these two could potentially be going in the near future. And of course, guys, we're going to be talking about my Bitcoin trade currently up 18%. So if you guys like these daily crypto videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, and turn notification bells on for more crypto daily updates. Starting off with Bitcoin before we get into VRA, because Bitcoin is king, we can see that Bitcoin currently got rejected by the 200 moving average. Now we know, guys, if you saw in my last video, I said that the only way we see the altcoin and crypto market and Veracity going down is if we get rejected and if Bitcoin falls down. And this is exactly what is happening right now. We came as high as the 200 moving average, which was a previous resistance from August 2022, as you guys can see. And we got rejected not only at the resistance, but at the 200 moving average. We are also seeing on top of that a death cross. Now, a death cross is when the 50 moving averages crosses below the 200 moving average, which is the blue one. So the blue is a 200 moving average and the yellow is the 50 moving average. Another thing is that if we have a look at the exponential moving average, guys, you know how big I am on the exponential moving average. And really, this really for me determines if we will be bullish or bearish. Is you can see, guys, once again that we got rejected by the 50 moving average or the exponential moving average on the top side on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly, guys, we are not bullish yet. We could be bullish on the daily or on the 4-hour, but on the weekly, we are not bullish. And the reason why is we know what happened when we broke above the weekly exponential moving average right here. This is essentially when we started the bull market. We came back, retested. Of course, there was COVID right here. So this was the V recovery shape. But the second we broke above it, we essentially held that as a resistance. I mean, as a support, sorry. This was a nice support region for Bitcoin. So this is exactly what is happening right now. And vice versa for the bear market. When we broke below the EMA ribbon, we can see we had a nice little V recovery shape, dead cat bounce, came back down. And ever since we've been below the EMA ribbons, we haven't crossed above the exponential moving average since April 4th, 2022. That is a very, very, very long time. Now, of course, if we have a look at some of the stochastic RSI, guys, we said that Bitcoin was overbought on the stochastic RSI. And we know every time we are above the 81 region or 80 region, I should say, we are overbought and investors are essentially going to be looking to sell. And every time we are below the 30, we are oversold and investors look to buy. So right here was a good buy. Of course, we went up. Right here was a good buy. We went up. Right here was a good buy. Guess what happened? We went up. And now we're obviously in the overbought area. So we're obviously going to come back down. We're obviously going to see a correction. The question is this only a bear trap? Are we going to see the market come back down? Is Bitcoin really going to go to 10,000 like everyone is saying, including myself? Or are we going to continue this bull cycle? Well, there's a few things we're going to have to talk about first. Number one is the moving average, 2, EMA ribbon, and 3 is if we're going to sustain on this chart on the weekly time frame. Now we can see right here on the daily time frame that Bitcoin is getting ready to come down. Now we're seeing the blue cross over the orange on the stochastic RSI, which is never a good sign. Now, the last time we saw the blue coming over the orange, it was right here, right? And guess what happened? It led to a nice little dumpage right here. And it wasn't so big. It wasn't so crazy. The top was here. It was approximately a 10% dump. So it wasn't so bad. So the question is are we going to see another 10% dump? Or are we going to hold this nice little support region right here? Now, Bitcoin is sitting at a support. Okay, so we know when things go up, we usually come back and retest. And it's normal. The same time we broke above this area, we came back and retested. So what happened with Bitcoin is we came up. And then we came back and retested this region right here, which is a support. So we know a resistance will usually flip to support. So this was a resistance for quite some time before we came back, broke above it, came back, retested, and then going back up. So this is the question essentially is, are the bears in control? Is this just a bear trap? Are the bulls in control? Are we going to see a massive swing by Bitcoin in the near future, or maybe this week? Maybe not. But I am accumulating VRA, and that's about it. I'm accumulating Veracity. So let's dive into Veracity real quick to see where Veracity is going in the near future. Currently traded at 0.0083 with a market cap of $86 million, down 6.87%, 321, ranked 321. So we did fall off the ranking a little bit. I'm not going to lie about that. We did fall off the ranking. Let's have a look on TradingView to see where VRA is going. Veracity, as you guys can see, VRA came up, came back down, broke below the support region right here, which we had. This was a nice little support region right here. And now where are we looking for our next buy? Well, my next opportunity is most likely going to be 7-2. I think that VRA is going to come down to as low as this region, maybe retest this area right here, because as of right now, this support, the second support or in the middle support, is actually a resistance. So this middle line right here is actually a resistance. So we're going to have to see where this goes. I think that VRA is going to have a nice little move, pull back to the upside before coming back down. Of course, guys, once again, it depends what Bitcoin does. But if we look at Bitcoin, or as we saw in Bitcoin, we can see that Bitcoin also came down on the 4-hour time frame. So this pattern right here is exactly what Bitcoin is doing. So this is why I always start with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is king, guys. And whatever Bitcoin does, usually most of the time, 95% of the time, altcoins will do. So I wouldn't be surprised if VRA pumps a little bit more before coming back down. No, that's not FUD. This is what I think will happen. I bought 100,000 VRA, and I'm going to keep accumulating every dip, every dip. So I'm most likely going to buy another 100,000 Verasity sitting at 0.007. I have my buy order ready to go. So if we do break below this level, I'm obviously going to be having a look at this second level sitting at 0.0057. But as of right now, that is not the case. We're going to have to see what happens next. That would essentially be a 15% dump from there and approximately 30% dump to the lowest support region. And that's about it. So these are my two resistance or support level for Verasity. We're going to have to see where this goes. Keep in mind, guys, that VRA was also overbought on the stochastic RSI. So if I actually pull up the stochastic RSI right here, we can see that Verasity was overbought on the daily time frame and on the weekly time frame. So we were right here overbought. So we had to come back for a correction, of course. And it seems like right now we did bottom, and it seems like investors are going to be looking to buy and start accumulate VRA again. As you guys can see right here, Verasity on the weekly time frame is currently sitting on the stochastic RSI well above the 80 stochastic RSI. Now, the last time we were this high was right here, the 25th of October 2021, and that was the last bull market at its peak when Verasity was almost at 10 cents. That is crazy. So it's obviously not so good that we're this high. So I'm expecting either a long form consolidation, number one, or number two, a dump. I think we're going to consolidate right here for a few more weeks. It's going to be very slow. It's going to be very boring. Of course, I could be wrong. Or we essentially continue going up and we ignore this thing right here. But right now, what do I know is that investors are going to be looking to sell Bitcoin, Verasity. They're going to wait for a pullback, maybe a consolidation, and then you could go in. In order for the stochastic RSI to essentially come back down, we don't have to completely dump it. We don't have to do something like that. We could consolidate. We could do something like that and watch the stochastic RSI coming back down and then wait for a cool off. This happens a lot. Every time you want to invest, essentially, you want to wait for either an accumulation phase, a correction phase, something. You don't want to buy the bump. You don't want to buy VRA when it's up 200%. I mean, that's FOMOing, and that's, that's playing with your emotions, and that's, that just creates a disaster, right? You don't really want to be doing that. We're gonna have to see after the pullback on the 4-hour time frame if VRA can essentially pull back to this area right here, to the second support region. It seems like right here was the bottom for a nice little pullback, but we're gonna have to see. You could obviously trade this up to here. It wouldn't be worth it though. I wouldn't recommend trading VRA. I mean, that thing is really crazy and volatile. So I would just wait. I would hold. I would accumulate, and that's about it. Just buy every dip, not financial advice, of course. So that is my quick video, guys, on VRA and Bitcoin. If you guys like this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, and I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow.